Let's get ready to rumble. So, for those that don't know, DJ Qbert started a thing where he's doing like a year of TTM flashcards. Like every day he's dropping a new TTM flashcard. I think some of these might not have TTM, but I think most of them have TTM. And so, yeah, I challenged him to a duel, because this one guy was saying, I remember years ago, I forgot his name, but he was like, DJ Chile is the king of TTM tutorials. And it is true that YouTube is, pushing Chile's tutorials more than my tutorials. Like if I upload a TTM tutorial, YouTube will deprecate it and show it to like, 50 people, 100 people, even though I have, you know, 7,000 subscribers about, right? But then, when Chile posts it, it'll be like, his new ones, it'll be like, oh, 2,000, 1,500 views, you know what I'm saying? But so yeah, I'm not worried about views these days. So I'm dropping everything to Instagram, and DJ Qbert is dropping everything on TikTok. But I'm not going to log into TikTok because just so y'all know, I would not suggest doing TikTok logging in because the Chinese government, the CCP, basically can scan your computer. And I'm actually a cybersecurity expert, and you can there's a lot of things that they can see. They can see your texts, they can see, they can go into your phone and see pretty much everything when you log into TikTok. And that's why I do agree with people that are saying that TikTok needs to be either moved to the US or banned. You know what I'm saying? I'm totally for that because it's definitely intrusive on in people's devices. All right, so we've got so Qbert so far has dropped, I believe, about 32 different joints, right? And I think I'm at about 22, about 22 days in a row. Qbert's at 32 days in a row, so he's got about 10 days ahead of me. But yeah, so by the end of the year, a year from now, we're both gonna see what happens with this duel. So with this duel that I challenged Qbert to, because if y'all saw the interview I just did of DJ, well, not DJ, he doesn't put DJ in front of his name, but Z Sonic. Shout out to Z Sonic. He had already been doing TTM flashcards years and years ago. He has a whole series of TTM flashcards that are really dope. And definitely check those out, and definitely check out the interview I just did of him. And but what I noticed with what Qbert is doing, I thought that it was just going to be Qbert doing his own cuts, but I think he's got D Styles on here. I think he's got a new one with DJ Chile on here, so it's not. I don't think it's just going to be him scratching, but I think it's mostly him scratching. I'm not sure if Qbert's uploading these himself or organizing these themselves. It seems like it's probably like an intern or something that's doing this since he's on tour and stuff right now. But with my stuff right here, I'm doing this all myself for those that don't know. So here's where I'm at right now. This was day one, the delete scratch. Shout out to Knockers here. This was part of the 100 days of TTM series, and we're still doing the 100 days of TTM series. You can see right here, this is day 104. But so simultaneously, I might drop some 100 days of TTM stuff sporadically through this year-long duel. So let's get ready to rumble. So we're gonna go through and see how this where this duel is going. You can see right here, right? This is what I just dropped so far. So every day I've been dropping a new scratch. And what's also interesting to note is that Qbert's dropping a lot of combos, and obviously combos are combinations of different cuts, and I'll be dropping combos as well probably later on, like hundreds of scratches from now. But I do want to see if Qbert has over 100 cuts, because with the PMOS 100 sampler sampler instrument that I released, we have available now at ttm.ninja. You can go there and find out about it. It's 100 unique modular cuts. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so this is kind of coming in the wake of the DJ Qbert verse, or really Craze verse Qbert beef that Qbert never really responded to. But I guess maybe this is kind of his response. But since I am the king of TTM notation, I have to, come in like Thanos and lay it down and claim on my 5 rings. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so now we're gonna, go through time. We're gonna go back in time with the time ring. So let's check out DJ Qbert's first one, what he just dropped. All right, so military cuts. That's dope. And I'll drop military cuts later on, but I'm starting out with faderless stuff because my I mean not faderless. I'm sorry, open fader stuff. Because my style these days is pretty much based on open fader stuff and being able to drop stuff. My style now is based on open fader techniques and as well as techniques with minimal clicks. You know what I'm saying? So you don't see me doing boomerangs or Aquaman and all types of stuff with mad clicks in it and lots of closed fader stuff and just stuff that's real rigorous on the arm. So I've been focusing on real free form kind of stuff, to create a unique style. All right, so we saw that one. That was day one. All right, that was 721 day one. That was dope. Some military cuts. Let's zoom out a little bit. Can we zoom out? Oh no, we can't. All right. All right, so we saw that one. That was day one. All right. Whoops. Let's go back to this. Whoops. Day two. Whoops. What's going on? Let's see. Let's try that again. Okay, some snakes. Dope. And this one doesn't seem to have the notation. So every couple weeks I'm gonna update. This has been 3 weeks that this duel's been going on. Me versus Qbert, me challenging Qbert for a year-long duel. All right, so that's cool. Some snakes. That's hot. That's hot. All right, so let's look at some more. What's up here next? We got the manicure scratch. Let's see what's up with that. So that snake didn't have any TTM with it. Dope. Wow. Alright. So there's no TTM with that one. But a lot of his new ones have TTM with it. Alright, let's keep it going. Let's see what's next. Alright, we saw the snake. Alright. So like I was saying before, to y'all that are new to TikTok, I would suggest not downloading TikTok, just because of the CCP spying on you. And for people that don't know, the everything that was happening with American slavery back in the day is basically happening in Western China right now with the Uyghurs. The Uyghurs are a kind of group that's like a mix of Muslim people, Caucasian people, Arab people, Han Chinese people, a lot of different ethnic groups all mixed together in a melting pot that are generally Islamic, and they're being persecuted in Western China right now. They're actually being enslaved, and families are being split up, and they're even putting Han Chinese soldiers in the place of fathers, to basically create a new father in the household. So a lot of the things that were going on in American slavery right now are going on in the CCP. So that's another reason I don't support TikTok. But let's keep it going. All right, so let's click on this, the hexagon. All right, so we can see that this is a combo, right? This is a combo, and I think this is D Styles doing it. So this is important to note that my challenge is Qbert dropping 365 unique different scratches or combos, but we see he's also using other people's stuff like that too, which is cool. That's cool, because he's part of his crew or whatever. So yeah, this is a D Styles combo. So yeah, shout out to D Styles, because you can see the Beat Junkies logo right there. That was sick. That was sick. Wait, let me go back to that. That was sick. So yeah, you can see that combo is a combination of a couple, three different scratches. All right, that was dope. That was dope. And also, when I say a combination of three different scratches, it's important to note that, with TTM notation, generally I'm counting, this as three scratches because it's like one, two, three. You know what I'm saying? Um, so you can see this is like starts out closed fader, right? Then it's like a tear, then it goes to another tear, right? Then it's this is really cool. This might be like an ox flare up in there, right? But yeah, so basically when you're going back to the starting point, that's what usually when I'm counting a new scratch. But obviously you could just count this as a scratch and this is a scratch and this you could stuff there even within scratches there's it can be broken down into slices and tears and stabs. You could say this is a stab and that's a stab or whatever. All right, so let's go to the next one. Okay. Where's the next one? Let's keep it moving. All right, so this is the D&B freestyle. There's no notation on this one. All right, so we're gonna skip that because we're looking for actual unique cuts. Because when I challenge Qbert, I'm challenging him on the whole unique cuts tip. See how many actual cuts he can drop. How many styles does Qbert have? Does Qbert have more styles than DJ Raedawn, right? But it was also interesting, is that remember I won the one and only DJ Qbert scholarship at ScratchCon 2000. So obviously I'm a student of DJ Qbert. I grew up listening to his music. You know what I'm saying? Hearing Dr. Octagon and things like that. Totally blew my mind. But they say the best teachers are also students, and given that Qbert has been using TTM notation since I released it, Qbert is also a student of my work. So, we're both students of each other. And that's why this is a friendly duel. I'm not doing a 18th century duel, to the death. But this is a friendly duel. So this is more of a touche kind of friendly fencing type of duel, not like the old school duels with the actual, pistols. All right. So this is all love. It's all love for hip hop. You know what I'm saying? All right. Okay, so some drum and bass upbeat drum scratching. That's cool. But once again, this is still stabs and releases, so these aren't new techniques. But they're done in a new way, in a new combo. This is cool. So there's no notation with this one. So D&B drums, nice. All right, and these are, some of these are very, very short, so this is really cool. They got these very short. I might start doing shorter ones too. A lot of mine have been just like a minute, and then sometimes I'll do two minute ones. And then I've also been dropping the PMOS 100, approximations of some of these cuts. Some of these cuts are the modular cuts, but then some of them are built from modular parts. All right. So Phantom hops, okay. I think it's also cool that for everything he's got like a different, kind of outfit, different costume on it. And although I feel that with this battle, with this duel, I'm going to be dropping, or I am dropping, unique cuts and things like that. He's dropping a lot of unique outfits and a lot of unique costumes, which is really cool because, you know, um, just as far as, showmanship and turntablism and costumes and like I'm a big fan of Mysterio, DJ Mysterio. He was kind of all about that, doing magic tricks and costumes and stuff like that, or whatever. But I think it's cool that he's bringing the costumes and stuff like that. A lot of the original rappers were wearing all types of costumes and stuff. But yeah, that's cool. So yeah, let's keep it moving. So I would say he's bringing more costumes to the duels versus actual styles, right? So for me, this is a battle of who has more styles in 365 days. Who can drop more combos and who can drop more styles. All right. So these are phantom hops, but I'm not sure what It sounds like different scratches are happening, and which ones are the phantom hops. Because that's the thing without the notation is sometimes it could be hard to know what if you're doing four different. It sounds like he's doing a couple of different cuts, unless he's counting this all as a combo or. But yeah, so let's keep it moving. That was cool. All right, where are we now? Let's see. Just watched. All right, there we go. This right here, tip tears. All right, let's go into that. Oh, this is TTM. That's cool, but it seems like this is instead of tears, this is more like a baby, and then a bigger baby, a longer baby, of a longer distance. Um, and it's definitely a tip because it's a little one, but I'm not sure where the tear is happening in this because usually I always thought that a tear was a pause. But the dialects are always changing and evolving, and that's also kind of why when I first released TTM, there were so many dialects out there that it was kind of people had different regional dialects in different regions, and I was bringing a lot of the dialects together just to help things become more standardized. Um, you know, because a lot of people call flares and orbits the same thing, like, oh, that's a two-click flare or that's a two-click orbit. And also, what I'm also doing with this is with my project with my dual battle is that this is just basically going to become like a TTM kind of Wikipedia thing where I'm about to actually contact disc and stuff like that. People that might object to the invention of certain scratches being attributed to a specific DJ. I'm gonna let people just like how Wikipedia, where you could say, you could object to something or try to edit something. If somebody feels that, like this delete scratch that was invented by DJ Trouble, if somebody, comes out and says, actually, no, DJ Trouble didn't invent that in the early 2000s. Actually, I invented that, let's say, DJ, I'm just going to make up a name, DJ Blue Boomerang says, I invented that in, 1997, and here's my proof, and here's the album, and here's the discogs or whatever, and they can prove it that they did that scratch, before another one of these DJs, then I'll add that in there, just like Wikipedia. They can all you have to do is just comment on the scratch and show your proof that you did the scratch, right? So the only ones that I'm showing where people invented the scratch, like let's say I click on this delete scratch, is when I 100% know that that's that person. That we know for sure DJ Flair invented this Flair scratch. But when it gets into a lot of other stuff, there's a lot of debates and a lot of disputes. So I don't touch on that. So like even when I eventually do the crab scratch, I'm not gonna say one person. I'm gonna because it's up for dispute. So if it's up for dispute or if it's unknown, I'm leaving the unknown. But in this sense, in this situation, we know DJ Trouble invented the delete scratch, right? But so let's get back to Qbert stuff. All right, so we got that one. What's next? All right, so let's click on this. Okay, Aquaman. Nice. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so that's Qbert's Aquaman. The Aquaman in the Matrix is different because it was copied from I guess maybe some of either Johnny One Moves notations or maybe Alex Sonnenfeld's tutorials. But that's what I'm saying. There's so many different because this thing has two clicks and kind of like a pause. It's like what to do, what to do. That's pretty cool. That's pretty dope. So that's Qbert's Aquaman. Let's go back. So we got that. We flipped the Aquaman, Qbert's Aquaman. That's pretty cool. It's going what to do, what to do. So it's like it's got two clicks and it's kind of like a long kind of slur. So it's like, it's definitely open fader. So it's like what to do, what to do. All right. And that's kind of like the end of a Chin Machine scratch because a Chin Machine chat scratch goes diva what a do, diva what a do. So it has the what a do, So it's diva what a do. It has like the Chin Machine scratch, and I'll be dropping that one definitely. The Barrett scratch and all different types of scratches. But yeah, so let's go to this next one. Now these it has these cool like kind of alien notation here, like letters and stuff like that. So I'm not sure if these alien letters mean something specific or have a relation to it, but I don't think that they probably do. But it looks cool. These are cool flashcards, and you know, but yeah, this seems like it's kind of like some scribbles kind of stuff. But yeah, this is really cool. And also shout out to Frankie D for the first person that I know to be pushing the word Book of Scratches, right? But yeah, so this is the my TTM scratch calendar. I'm calling this TTM scratch calendar. This was day 1, day 2, but we're gonna get into mine after we do Q-Berts. All right, so let's go on to the next one. All right, let's see where we at now. All right. Nice. That's a lot of cool styles. There's a lot of nice cool styles in there. So I guess he's counting freestyles, different types of freestyles as for the different days. So it looks like I'm kind of catching up with him as far as unique different cuts. You know what I'm saying? Because my goal with this battle, this 365-day battle, that he has like a 10-day lead on me, is my intention is to drop unique cuts to see who has more styles. Qbert, the master who's seen as the master of the Jimi Hendrix of turntablism versus me, the Thanos of TTM. Who has more styles. I've created more styles. Most of them haven't been recorded. Like if you look at the Faderless Matrix, most of those things in the Faderless Matrix haven't even been recorded. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so let's see, what day are we on now? So let's see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're on day 11. All right, so we're about to get through all of these. We're up like halfway, or I think he's got like 32, and I'm at like 22. All right. So let's go to the next one. All right, another D Styles one. And I like this cat doing this like kind of b-boy kind of sign language kind of dance. That's pretty dope. Um, nice. That's sick. That's so sick. Very, very sick. That's right. So we see a little. So you can see this is like a really dope combo where it's like going what the what the no what the what the right. Nice. So it's going what 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 right. That's very cool, and he's doing it real fast. Very, very cool. So he calls those the Dow Jones. Nice. Okay, that's dope. That's dope. Right? There's infinite numbers of combos. That's what's amazing about scratching. There's way more, combinations of scratching than, with like regular instruments. It's unlimited. Just like stock, the stock market. And you can go, we have a special page called TTM uh, stocks, TTM. There's a lot of different TTM pages on Facebook, but you can go to the Facebook page and find TTM stocks, and it's TTM stock market analysis. So TTM notation can be used to help, predict the stock market, because if you look at the stock market like music, and it's going up and down and up and down and up and down. People that are DJs, we know what that sounds like, but regular people don't know that, what those sounds like. And if you see how a particular stock or a particular commodity or a particular crypto coin, how it's moving up and down, you can start to feel like, okay, just like how you feel a DJ's particular style, you can actually use TTM to kind of, feel out, where something might be going, where a stock or a crypto might be going, because it's like, if you see that they're kind of scribbling off and it's kind of starting to just stop moving and kind of becoming dead, you can see that. But if something's really volatile and moving back and forth, it's just like a different DJ style. So every different commodity, stock, or coin is going to have a different different type of vibe to it. All right. So yeah, shout out to D Styles for that. Okay, some drum scratching. So warp drums. So I guess he's saying warp drums is drums that swing. So this is kind of like the DJ. I mean, not DJ. I meant to say DC, like Washington DC. For those that don't know the American micro genre of go-go music. In DC, there's a genre called go-go, where it's real funky like that, where it's based on like that type of style, where it's just it's got a lot of heavy swing to it. Instead of just being like do 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 chat do 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 chat, it's like do 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 chat do 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 chat do 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 chat like that. So that's kind of like some swing stuff. That's dope. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, I like that he's keeping these short. I'm gonna make some of mine shorter probably in the future, because it's definitely, since I'm doing this all myself and I don't have interns or managers, or I'm doing a million things, and it's uh, all on my own. Let's see what's this about. All right, poison darts. What's this? Dope. That's so dope. So in the Matrix, that's kind of more like maybe some tangents, like some multi-click tangents, even like baby steps, kind of, or walking the, you kind of. Let me see that again. This is dope. Sick. That's sick. So he's either doing little flares and kind of walking them forward, kind of like baby steps and stuff, or he's doing kind of doing like really fast tangents. I'm gonna have to review that. But I'm gonna review that another day. But that's dope. I'm gonna definitely incorporate those into my style because I never do those. That's hot. That's dope. I like that. So yeah, this is a friendly battle. You know what I'm saying? There's no beef. Because a lot of people think that just because I'm covering hip hop news and talking about politics and Q dropping the N word 7 times in 1 minute, people think I'm hating on him or something. But you know what I'm saying? I give respect to him for giving me the scholarship and both of us being students of each other. So this is why this is a friendly battle. Nice tasers. Very cool. Nice, cool tasers. All right, let's keep it moving. This is called the fun section. So that seems like kind of like a forward kind of, right, with like a I guess like a I mean it's almost kind of like military cuts that are more funky and a different rhythm, with just like a forward and a slice, different combinations of forwards and slices, like military scratching as a cross rhythm instead of being like it seems like it's going I mean, like like a cross rhythm, so it's just more funky, more like a cross rhythm. Let's see, let's go to the next one. Keep it moving. We're almost done with the Qbert stuff. All right, and let's go over to here. No living thing shall remain. Letting off rockets. Like I'm strapped with bombs. So this is called the plague cuts. Plague cuts. Letting off rockets. Like I'm strapped with bombs. That was dope. That was dope. So yeah, he's got freestyles in here. So these aren't all unique cuts necessarily, you know what I'm saying, or unique combos. He's got some freestyles in here. That's dope. So some phrase scratching. That was a sick phrase scratch. And we'll be adding, some phrase scratch combos and different things like that. In our 365 days of, TTM notation, right? TTM calendar. right? 365 days of TTM. So let's go to the next one. Looks like D Styles right here. Here's the dancer again. The sign language dancer. Alien sign language maybe. B-boy. Nice. So let's look at this. So just like Thanos, like I'm saying, I'm the TTM Thanos. Where Thanos is battling, multiple people battling all the X-Men. I guess I'm battling, for this 365-day duel. I'm battling Qbert and D Styles and Chile and whoever tutorials he puts up. Because I'm pretty sure he has a Chile one on a new one. But yeah, let's look at this. Let me look at this again. So we see that it's like part of like a little like a tip right there, some fast tip scribble type of thing, like a 1 2 3 like what, but small, so it's like right, and this is like a crescent flare, right, and then we see it goes looks like it's kind of going almost into like a OG flare, right? But then it kind of goes into this another just like another baby, and then another crescent, and then another kind of just like a kind of transform at the end. That's really dope. That's hot, right? So yeah, there's infinite combos out there. So yeah, and we'll go to the crescent flare in the TTM one. Let's see, do I do escape? Yeah. So let's say, where's the crescent flare in here? So like for those that don't know, this is a crescent flare. So that's why I'm gonna get into combos and stuff like that. Probably after like 100 days or something like that. But I'm starting off, with just kind of a lot of stuff that I use in my own style. A lot of open fader cuts. I'm gonna start doing crescent flares more. Actually, I don't do those enough. I actually rarely do those. I was doing them a couple years ago, but I kind of stopped. But I'm gonna start doing those more, and stuff like that. But yeah, let's go to the next one. So that's a crescent flare right there. All right, next one. Let's go. So snake tears. Nice. So he's using the snake pattern. So we already saw the snake pattern earlier, and he's using the snake pattern on the snares. All right. That's dope. That's dope. And I'll be dropping drum scratch ones too. I don't know if any of y'all saw my drum scratch tutorials, but I did a whole series of like maybe it was like 64 different drum scratch patterns or something like that. I can't remember how many it was. That was a while ago. I think it's really cool. All like I was saying before, just the costumes. He's definitely the king of the hip hop costumes. It's very cool. And this beat also has that kind of swing to it, like that, like those cuts earlier. It's kind of that go-go type of swing. It's like boom, boom, like that type of swing to it, But when he's landing the snare, he's doing the snake on the snare. So this is snare tears, right? That's dope. Oh, I thought it said snake tears. It's snare tears. Nice. And it sounds like the paper tearing too. All right, crescent flare reverse. Cool cross rhythm. dope. You know, kind of like a lot of like some of the you know, what do you call it? Twista. You know, a lot of scratch patterns and rap patterns have a lot of overlapping, and like I was just saying, and there's a new interview with me and or I guess yeah, the one with Z Sonic, the new where I'm talking to him about his flashcards, his original flashcards, TTM flashcards. You know, we were just talking about the fact that you know rap patterns and scratch patterns have a lot of influence on each other, and you know, it used to be more so the scratch DJs were influenced by the rap patterns, but now that you know we've got the matrix out and there's you know we see scientifically mathematically there's way more scratch patterns than rap patterns. I think in the future you know the rap patterns are going to start influencing the I'm sorry, the scratch patterns are going to influence the rap patterns, right? Okay, so let's keep it moving. All right, photons. What's a photon? Let me see. Nice. That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. And now I'm not dropping a lot. I'm not dropping any beats with my tutorials just for the educational purposes of people learning the scratch and be able to like see it just by itself and hear it without the beat. Because sometimes the you know the timing over the beat or you know can confuse people or something like that. So I will you know start dropping stuff with beats. You know probably hundreds of days from now. But yes, but right now I'm just dropping these scratches all by themselves at first. Nice bubble taps. Nice bubble. That's dope. That's hot. Oh, let's see what that TTM is again. So all these don't have TTM on it, but some of them do. So it's good to see the TTM on this one. Let's see it. All right. That's very, very cool. This is wow, wow. This is so cool. So this is basically kind of like a reverse. You know, this has three clicks on both sides, so it's kind of like a reverse three click, but it's got this cool pause here. So it's like, you know, wuku, and then it's a you know tear here, a pause, and then what a da, and then what da da da. Right. So let's see if it sounds like that. Well, I didn't hear what the in there. There should be something that has. So I definitely heard this and this in there, but I didn't. Cause see, this should be one, two, three, four sounds. You should hear a what the right, and we didn't hear that. So you know, as Thanos of TTM, I'm also critiquing, you know, people's usage of TTM because you know, just like you know, with they say that when you know the Latin churches were, you know, when most people were illiterate back in the day, the Latin churches were, you know, saying the things in Latin and people didn't necessarily understand. And, you know, they say, uh, only the priests were understanding and things like that. And sometimes with TTN, that's kind of how it is, where people just kind of assume that you know what you're talking about if it's written up there and that it actually relates to what's being done. But I would say that to have those a three click, a half a three click in there, there should be a sound that sounds like what because that's what that sound sounds like. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do it again. Yeah, like if I were to translate that, I would translate it different because I see woko, wadada, wadadada. So I see woku. That's like half a flare, woku, right? But let's keep it moving. All right. I'm also critiquing the TTM.
I'm the illest. I'm the illest. I'm the illest. I'm the illest. Tap full jaws. I'll give it to you raw. Lay it down low. Tap full jaws. Lay down low. I'll give it to you raw. You raw. I'll tap all jaws. I'll lay down low.
That was cool. That was cool. So it was like a very minimal type of phrase scratching. You know what I'm saying? Very kind of hard edge kind of. That was dope. That was hot. So that's called a jawbreaker. I guess that's like a phrase scratch style, or just a phrase scratch freestyle.
I'm the illest.
All right. And I would say, yeah, he is the illest. But I would say that if you graph the how ill Qbert's been over the years, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you graph, he just got so ill by 96. I would say that he's still ill now, but if you look at me in 96, I was whack, you know what I'm saying? And then, by by now, if you graph my progress, me at I'm about 45 right now, at 45 years old, 45 and a half, I'm getting iller at a faster rate. So, I would say by, 5 years from now, who knows? You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll be iller. But I know that I have more. I think I'll be able to drop more styles than Qbert within the next year. But obviously, if you have more styles, that doesn't mean you're dope. And also, if you have a lot of styles, doesn't mean that you can execute the styles, because sometimes you might, be able to do something in recording, just like how an actor might be able to, be in a lot of different movies, but 20 years later can Jack Nicholson pull up, his lines from, The Shining or whatever. Sometimes we forget things and we get rusty on specific, certain things and certain techniques. And it's also important too. Like that's been my critique with like even with I think Chile and Alex Sonnenfeld are very dope, but I also noticed that when they do their tutorials, but if they're practicing or not just practicing, but if they're jamming or freestyling or whatever, scratching over a beat, um, they're not necessarily able to do all the things that they're teaching. You know what I'm saying? But with my stuff, anything that you see me teaching, usually, I'm dropping those live. Like if you see all my collabs recently with Tabletist Lounge LA and Tabletist Lounge San Diego, all those cuts that the first 20 days of these tutorials are cuts that I was dropping pretty much in those things. That's why we're gonna do the chin machine scratch soon. All right, here's a combo, a D Styles combo. So this is dope. So it's not just me battling Qbert now. So now this TTM battle is me battling the actual pickles, and also shout out to Shortcut and I just sent him some money in his for his GoFundMe. Let's put our prayers out for Shortcut. Prayers for his recovery. Definitely put out his prayers, and also we need to put out some prayers for Joe Cooley and Presto One, as well as Tumex. Tumex is he was just up on stage at Rhyme Fest. I'll probably cover that soon. And he's going through heart issues too. So as we get older, and in the underground hip hop world, we don't have any unions or healthcare type of a thing that's covering us, for the art form. So, we really got to look out for each other, but we really need DJ unions, obviously. We need rapper unions. And, unfortunately, Suge Knight's the only person talking about rapper unions. But, people are talking about this stuff out there, but it's just a very underground subject and nobody really cares. And shout out to Martha Diaz, because Martha Diaz from the Hip Hop Education Center at NYU was one of the first people I heard talking about the fact that I think there was some hip hop foundation got like $1 billion and nobody ever saw where it went. It's like, okay, y'all got $1 billion funding, and maybe it was hundreds of millions or something. I don't know, but it was some really big amount of funding, and nobody ever saw it kind of materialize. All right, so let's click on this D Styles joint. All right. Polygons. That's very, very dope. So it's like a cross rhythm of some tears. That's really dope. Kind of reminds me of seesaws a little bit. You know, seesaws are just slices in a kind of cross rhythm, forward and reverse slices. But these are some dope tears. So let's look at the notation again. All right. So it's basically some, you know, like yeah, it's like a tear, you know, but it's starting close fader. Very, very dope. I like this a lot. So I see it's going, you know, v v v v v, and then v v v v v, and it's that's cool. Nice, nice. That's dope. All right, so let's move on to the next. All right. Nice. Some double time drum stuff, dope. Nice, nice. That's dope. And what's also important to note too is that you know Qbert's the master of you know definitely of drum scratching. You know he's definitely the best drum scratcher I've seen in the world. And you know he's just inventing so many new styles of drum scratching. And also it's really important that it has that little extra. You know that little you know in the past I guess it's in the past 20 years he really started doing that. Maybe 24 years even. I don't know if he was doing it when he was battling Craze on that tour they did together. We're gonna cover his tour with Craze in the future, but yes, you know his double time stuff is just so sick. Him adding the you know that little extra sound in there, you know, because a lot of people times when people do double time, it's just like you know, and they might add some flares or some things in between, but you know, he's got that little extra hi hat sound, that little extra drum sound that's in there. That's the same thing that's on the you know his classic new kind of classic drum scratch routine that he does with like if you look at the Mile High DJ Supply visual vinyl, I think that on one side of it or one of those vinyls they have it has the you know the this drum scratch similar to this one. I mean a you know a drum scratching tool that has that little extra snare in it. So when you're doing the double time, it sounds way doper than the double time stuff before it because the double time stuff before it was people were just using the pachat, you know, just the kick snare, and then they're just scratching the kick and the snare. They don't have that extra little percussion sound in between the kick and the snare that you know, or I don't know if it's in between it or after. I guess it's after it that makes it really dope. So let's play that again. Yeah, so you heard, so it's going kick and then that little percussion sound and then the snare. So he's going dun 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 chick, dun 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 chick, dun 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 chick. You know what I'm saying? So he's cutting on the kick and then he's cutting on the percussion sound and then he's hitting the snare. Because you know in the past people were pretty much only really you know just scratching with the kick and the snare where it's just like boom 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 chat boom 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 chat. You know it's like kick 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 snare kick 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 snare. You know what I'm saying? But he's going, you know, let's play it again. So he's using that percussion sound. So he's going kick, he's going. So for the percussion sound, I'm gonna go dot. So he's going kick dot 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 snare, kick 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 dot 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 snare, kick dot dot snare, kick 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 dot 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 snare. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's really really sick, and I encourage DJs out there to expand your drum scratching. And we don't see enough drum scratching. DMC. I never see people drum scratching anymore. It's just like a juggle battle. You know what I'm saying? And I was saying in a earlier lecture, I think that in the future, what's going to happen is the scratch DJs are going to start taking over DMC, and possibly just using two turntables on one side and a mixer, you know what I'm saying, and start just juggling, and start, I mean, juggling with their strong scratch hand, and just taking over. You know what I'm saying? Because it's way more complicated to do a lot of the complex scratch drumming styles than to juggle. Because a lot of the juggling patterns people are doing is still mid '90s stuff that Raider and was pioneering, and Steve D stuff from inventing the juggling. You know. All right, let's keep it moving. So that was hot. All right, let's go to the next one. Clover rings. So it sounds like maybe a mix between boomerangs and clovers. Let's see what it is. And I guess clovers were those things that kind of what D Styles was doing when he had that extra. It was starting like a closed fader clover where he was starting over. I think the clover is, there's so many scratches. I think the clover is kind of like a tear. When you're basically doing like a flare, but instead of a click, it's a tear pause in it. So it's going forward, stops, forward, and then back, stops, and then backwards. Like that last D Styles one. Hmm, that's cool. And there's so many scratches that are sounded like scratches because, like, to me, that sounded like some two click orbits in there. But maybe he's doing something else. I gotta review it more closely. Let's see. That's cool. That's cool. I gotta look at that closer. But yeah, that's dope. All right. So, and also when people are doing a bunch of different, adding other cuts within it, sometimes it could be hard to know which one's the cut he's talking about. But I'm gonna look at that one in the future more closely, and I'm gonna come back in the future and take screenshots of all these and talk about these each TTM stuff in future lectures. But let's play this one. Nice pimp lip orbits. So pimp limp orbits. Man, that's dope. That's dope. And also too, I've y'all might have seen my tutorial that was talking about dirty digits. Focusing on at Scratch DJ Academy. He's the director, and he's pushing a tutorial called Tug Job Scratches. And for me, I think if you're a child student or even women, it can be offensive to have sexualized names and things like that. And even with pimp stuff and this the idea of a pimp, for women turntablists out there, the ones that are not prude or people that aren't prude in general, it's not going to be offensive to them. But to some people, it's going to be offensive. And I would just think, I think that if y'all are naming stuff, in the future, it's good to think about everybody as far as inclusivity and all ages and everybody being able to get into it. But pimping is part of hip hop, and it's part of the lingo and the terminology. But within hip hop culture, there's just a lot of demoralization in general. Um, and yeah, so let's go to the next one. All right, so this one has some TTM notation. So it seems like it's about maybe less than 50% have notation. Maybe it's like 30% so far, maybe 20%. Let's check this out. Whoops, I'm trying to see the notation. All right, so we got a flare here going woku woku, and then this is kind of almost like an OG flare, but see, remember the OG flare is lopsided. It's not symmetric like this. OG flare would be like this, but this thing wouldn't be so long on this one. It would be half as long, or it'd be a faster, higher pitch pullback, and it would end right here. Like right here would be the end instead of going all the way over here. This line would go to there. So it's kind of like an OG, but it's a little bit different. So you see, it's a flare. So it's going woku woku, and then what the or what the because with the OG flare is da da da. It's going what the. So what the. You know. So but I don't remember hearing this flare in there. But let's play it again. Nice. That's dope. That's dope. But it sounds different than what I'm seeing with the notation. Oh, okay. So this is a lucky 7. All right. So it's a lucky 7. All right. So let's go to the next one. Okay. Let's go to here. And the lucky 7 is in the matrix, so you can check it out in the periodic matrix scratches. I think Mile High DJ Supply might still have some matrix posters, but I think Cut and Paste is all out of them. Yeah, Somatic hasn't restocked them yet. But I believe that what you call it still has them. Open Format still has a bunch. But if you want the digital ones, you can come to me. As far as physical posters anymore, I'm not sending those out. I was sending those out for years. That's why I have distributors doing them now. But if you do want a signed copy, I'm only doing signed copies for $100 for a signed copy of the Matrix poster. And I'm actually about to drop the update of the Matrix poster because there's some little errors and things like that in there. Like the delayed series are actually supposed to say Scribbles series. But yeah, so so I'm gonna click on this. Let's see, paratroops. Let's see. That's cool. That's cool because it's like minimal clicking, right? It's kind of like militaries, but with some, but more instead of slices, instead of a lot of slices, it's more like, kind of stabs and babies and kind of mixes in between. All right, that was dope. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, the last one. This is, I guess, day 32. Oh, so okay, so there is no DJ Chile stuff in here. It's just him and D Styles. So I guess it's just me versus Q and D Styles for 365 days. Cause I saw something, but I guess he was posting it on something else. Maybe it was just he was posting a Chile routine, a Chile tutorial like a quick clip of it, and I think it was on maybe YouTube or something. All right, so let's click this. So these are called generals. An hour ago, he just dropped that. That's hot, right? Or I guess I've been talking probably for an hour, so maybe that was 2 hours ago. But all right, so now let's get to the TTM joints. All right, so let the battle begin. All right. So let's start off. All right, so we got the delete scratch invented by DJ Trouble. All right, shout out to DJ Trouble. All right, let's see. Let me turn this on so you can hear it. All right, so that's just it being used on the PMOS 100. Or let me show you all the top of it so you can see it. See right. So this is the PMOS 100. If you don't have the app, it's only $40. If you buy the app, you get a free digital matrix poster with it for $40. And I'll throw it. It's a whole app bundle actually for $40. I'll give you a couple different versions of the app, including this is the 1.4 version that has this loop function and the AI in it. Has the AI sequencer in it. All right, so let's go to the actual flare forward, and then another baby, and a half flare back. All right, and that goes. And when you're doing the two baby scratches that are in the scratch, you don't have to go the full range. You can just go a little baby, and then you go all the way forward doing the half flare, and then another little baby, and then a flat half flare on the way back. All right, so it goes. Basically just a. So I really love the delete scratch because you can just go super fast over any speed, you know what I'm saying, and it just only has 2 clicks, you know what I'm saying. So it's really cool scratch. I love it, you know what I'm saying, because it only has 2 clicks, so it's very light. So like I was saying before, my style now I've been focusing on only pretty much open fader stuff, unless I'm like stabbing or doing some electro transforming or something, or just some seesaws or something like that. But in general these days now I'm pretty much just overlapping a lot of open fader stuff. But yeah, so let's go to the next one. So we got the delete scratch. All right, now we're going to go in the 2 triplet click orbit. And this is the most common orbit. The 2 triplet click is what you're going to hear most people doing when they're doing 2 clicks. There's technically infinite variations of 2 clicks, but for those that don't know, up at the top of this notation here, we can see that this is going. So for those that don't know TTM, this is going forward and then backwards, and this is a crossfader click, another crossfader click, another crossfader click, another one, and this white symbol, this white open thing, is just to show that the crossfader is in the open position. And we're actually going to do a whole lecture on that in the future about the fact that the PT01 portablist mixers are using my system. I mean, using my white dot means open, black dot means closed, system of scratch gates, basically. And that's what this whole system up here is showing all the times that the sound is being cut into pieces. So we see that either a click or a change of direction can cut a sound into 2 pieces. So like a baby scratch, when it's just going forward, backwards, that reverse change has a little dot right there up at the top, just because you can count that as a change of direction. And anytime you have a change of direction, at that one little point that it changes direction, there's no sound there, right? Because it stops. Just like if you're doing suicides and you're running back and forth in the gym, and for those that don't know what suicides are a type of like training method where you run to the end of the gym and you touch the wall, and then you run back to the other wall, then you run to maybe 75% of the basketball court, and then you run back and touch the wall, then you run to 50% of the basketball court, then you touch the wall, then you run to 25% of the basketball court, then you touch the wall, But every time you touch a wall, you have to stop. You know what I'm saying? People can't instantaneously change directions. You know what I'm saying? And nor can objects in general. That's why TTM is based on the actual laws of physics. That's why I don't draw this as a straight triangular wave. And we're going to show the digital toggles in the future too. So let's go to the next one. Let's see. Or I mean, let's actually play these out. But yeah, so we can see it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5, slices in this, and one of them being a change of direction. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sounds, and this is the most common triplet that people do. Triplet orbit. I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to just zoom out or something, but I think I zoomed out too much. Let's see. All right. So that's the two triple click orbit that you see a lot of people doing, and those can go really really fast. I wasn't doing them fast right there just for educational purposes, but those can go super fast. All right. So the original flare, OG flare, invented by DJ Flare. So this came before the flare. All right. And you can see this, what I was saying before, is skewed where this is going vrp. It's much it's going the vrp the vrp. So it's going the vrp. This one is much shorter than these other ones, right? All right, so let's see what it sounds like. Let's see. Oh, you can't see it. It's at the bottom of the thing. It's out of the range. All right. See? All right, so that was the OG flare, original flare. Now we got the M flare, and this is invented by DJ Kin One out of Tokyo. Shout out to Kin One. So that's the M flare, and it's really cool because it's going forward and it's got a click. So it's basically like a flare, but it's just got kind of like a baby scratch in the middle, a reverse baby scratch. So it's very very dope. It's one of my favorite, new school cuts that I do all the time. And you can see it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sounds. So this up here just helps you count, the sounds. And also for those that don't know, these are basically like kind of click placeholders of kind of the most common places where people click. Obviously, you could click anywhere along these lines, along the sample line of going, this is backwards and this is forwards, and this is backwards, forwards. But, usually people click in, whether it's at the 50% point or the 30%, 33 and a third percent point, or the 66 and 2/3% point, right? People are clicking at different percent points. Like this is 50%, this is 25%, this is 75%, right? You can look at it different ways, But yeah, let's go into the next. So this is the PMOS 100 scratch sampler. Alright, so let's go to the next one. But those are all real samples. So this was invented by Kin One out of Japan. So yeah, shout out to Kin One. But yeah, it's really sick. Those things can go super fast, and they're great for cross rhythms, like I mean, yeah. So it's really really cool. So it goes woko dava woko So remember, half a flare sounds like woko, and then dv, it's a reverse, rub, and then woko. So it's woko dv woko. Woko double, woko double, woko double, woko, and it's good to be able to vocalize these things too, just like how people that play tabla in India, tabla is an ancient art form, and all the master tabla players are able to vocalize the patterns. Like you'll hear them do these crazy vocalizations that are like it sounds really amazing. If definitely Google, or even type YouTube on YouTube, look up, tabla patterns. So this is the wah scratch is a scratch I showed Qbert. Actually, I invented this in like maybe '99 or something, and I right before I released TTM 1.0, my second book on scratch notation, at in New York at what was it? What was that place? Symphony Space. At Symphony Space, Qbert was playing at Virgin Megastore, and I showed him. I guess Yoga Frog was like, anybody got any new scratches? And I was like, yo, I got a new scratch. So I got up there and I showed them this wah scratch, and Qbert started to try to do it, but he didn't do it, but he was doing kind of a hybrid of it, of some different style of it. But this is a continuous clicking scratch, and I'm gonna press. I'm gonna go to the actual scratch, but it's interesting because with continuous clicking scratches, you can go really fast. When I was just battling DJ Dyer, a friendly battle, we were just going back and forth at Tablet's Lounge LA. DJ Dyer, he was doing some real fast, like I think he was doing super fast, maybe some orbits, some two clickers. But so I started doing some super fast of these, some super fast wahs in there. Y'all see if y'all see it. Oh, you can't see it. It's off screen. And I also wanted to say this, before they were selling these like kind of, bubble tap type of stickers, I was, showing people that you can just go to the, Staples. You don't have to go and, I mean, shout out to DJ Woody and people that are, selling products like that. But, you can go to Staples and you can find these things and put these little raised relief bubble stickers. These are stickers, but they're raised. So then you can, rub your fingers over them and create, vibrational sounds and do some cool techniques on them using that. But shout out to Woody and all the people that started selling those later. But, I was showing people that you could do that, years before that. But let's press play again. So I call it the wah scratch because it sounds like a wah. And when I made it, I was listening to Invasion of the Octopus people, the Pickles.
Are there any new scratches, you guys?
And this is what I was just talking about. But yeah, but the part that got messed up, unfortunately, this was on an old CD-ROM back in the day, and I used to play the CD-ROM over and over again, and because Qbert was doing a bunch of sick drum scratching at Virgin Megastore that day. So this was at Virgin Megastore. I showed him the wah scratch, and but the CD started getting all messed up over the years. Because make sure to back up all your CDs, because if you guys have stuff from burned CDs from 20 years ago, most likely they don't even work anymore. Depending on the quality of the burned CDs and how much they costed. Like those real, especially those ones that were different colors and stuff like that. Those things definitely don't last. But make sure you back up all those things. But yeah, this was at Virgin Megastore when I showed Qbert the wah scratch, because he was going to perform when we released TTM 1.0 at Symphony Space. He did a performance at Virgin Megastore maybe a day before that, maybe 2 days before that. All right, so let's press play.
Can share? You guys want to share anything new? Like to learn. Excess, you got some new scratches? Yeah.
Shout out to Excess, he was in the crowd. He said no.
You want to cut it up? Yes, sir, in the back.
I got a scratch.
Yes, what is it called? call it the wah scratch.
The wah scratch.
It's kind of like half a flare, half of the orbit on the way back, but the flare is half as long as the orbit.
Ooh, can you do it?
Yeah.
Ah, can you show us?
Yeah.
All right.
What is this, the wah scratch?
The wah scratch, half flare and the back is orbits.
Raedawn.
Oh, the... Right.
So you can see how the CD is starting to kind of wig out now. You know, like with the old CD-ROMs, is starting to there's read errors on there.
What's your name?
So by the time it gets to us doing it, me doing the wah scratch and then Qbert trying to do the wah scratch, it's all garbled and stuff. But it makes that weird kind of CD sound where it kind of sounds like somebody's like a almost tremolo in it, where it sounds like somebody's transforming it. But it's all because of the coding is all messed up.
Sir? Ray. All right.
Left-handed, right.
Left-handed scratch or right-handed scratch? Are there any new scratches you guys can...
All right, but yeah, so I didn't show the rest of the part, but you can see that. Go to YouTube and you can find that. Just type Raedawn shows Qbert wah scratch or something like that. It'll pop up. All right, so we did the wah scratch. So that's day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, now we're on day 6. Let's see. All right, so 3-click orbit. All right. And like I was saying before, I'm going to make this more like a Wikipedia type of thing where people can challenge it. So, if let's say Disc says, he made this first, I'm not sure who's the first person to make the 3-click orbit. That's why I'm not putting, who it was invented by. But if I know for certain 100% who's invented by, then I'll put it. But, most scratches aren't like that, where we know 100% who did it first. And yeah, with this 3-click orbit, I'm not sure who did this first, but let's play it. So this is the new PMOS 100 1.4 that has the AI functionality in it, and it also has this new loop button on there. I mean, you can loop it through through sampler mode or whatever, like triggering it like a piano. Because a lot of people don't know you can actually use all the buttons on your keyboard to trigger this like a piano. So this is the first DJ scratch sampler instrument, and it's only $40. This is one of my favorite scratches, especially over electro and stuff like that. Because once it gets like 100 beats per minute, I don't really use it that much. Maybe a slow version of it, but sometimes because it just kind of sounds like transforming. But over electro, I love dropping this over electro. Like y'all saw me at the Tabletist Lounge, LA, and San Diego. I was just nonstop dropping these over when the beats got fast because I've never been a super fast transformer. So, super fast transform person. So, when I'm going fast over a beat, I'm usually dropping these, you know what I'm saying? I'm never going da 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 da, because this one would be closed and that'd be 4 clicks for every direction, like da 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 da. But it's a lot easier. You can, without having to do that extra click, all you have to do is these 3 clicks in the middle. You can go what da 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 what da da da, So it's a lot easier to do a 3-click orbit versus a 4-click transform. All right, let's move on. Okay, so too low to too high click orbit. So this is an orbit 2-click orbit hybrid, not hybrid, just variation. Because there's all types of variations. You can move these clicks around in different places. So this is going what a duh and then what a duh. So these 2 notes are shorter than this one. These are half the length of this one, and these 2 are half the length of this one. And what's interesting is even though this line is shorter here and this one is longer, they're still the same length of time. So they both go the same length of time. It's just because time gets changes when it's slowing down. The pitch is slowing down here. This is like a lower pitch, and this is a higher pitch. So it's going with a duh, All right, so let's play it, see what it sounds like. And with the PMOS 100, these are all real sampled scratches from a real turntable with the real needle, and no Serato, no digital stuff. It's not; these aren't synthesized scratches. But shout out to synthesized scratching. We're gonna go over the synthesized scratches, a generator that this cat made that's really really dope, and we're gonna go over that in the future. All right, let's. So a lot of people can do this one. There's a lot of orbit variations, and people usually can't do a lot of the other ones. But this one's pretty popular. But the main triplet one is the most popular, because this one's not a triplet. The triplet has three. These are evenly spaced apart, the two clicks, so that it's three evenly spaced sounds. But these are more lopsided, right? All right, so let's go to the next one. All right, and we're almost through this. This is going to be week 3 of the battle of the duel. All right, the TTM 365 days of TTM battle war that I'm waging. All right, so this is a 2-click orbit variation that can go super fast over beats. I love doing this one. You hear me do this one all the time because it sounds like you're doing flares, but but you can tweak it so it just sounds super funky. If you go super fast. So I'm doing them slow right there, but over some fast electro. I mean, there's no limit to how fast you can do this scratch. The more clicks you have, generally you can't you can't start going super fast with it. But this scratch you can go really 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 fast with that over a lot of stuff. Now this one you can go fast, but it's more of a cross rhythm type of thing where it's going what a da what a da. So it's what a da 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 what a da. So it's going what a da what a da. So remember, it's 2 clicks. So it's going to make 3 sounds. So it's going what a da what a da. So let's see what it sounds like. So I invented this one after hearing Kin 1 Tokyo's 1-click M flare, the M flare. So I was like, oh, what if you had 2 clicks? What if you had 3, 4, or 5? So we're gonna get into 3-click ones, 4-click ones. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all once you start making stuff visual, then there's no limit to what you can do scratching. So let's play it. Let's see. We're going to start out with the 2-click M flare. And these are some things I haven't even dropped yet. In the future we're going to drop this Barrett scratch, which is kind of like a delete scratch, but you're adding a chirp there, and it's kind of like a reverse chirp there, right? It's basically like a delete scratch with reverse chirps instead of babies. And it's obviously the more clicks you add, the more difficulty. And we're gonna do the chin machine scratch right here too. You can see a chin machine, but this one is this 2-click M flare right there. All right, so let's skip that. Oh no, there's some other versions of it. Let's see what's over here. Basically a mix between a 2-click flare and a reverse baby. Some people say 2-click orbit. So we're going to mix those together. The reverse baby is going to go in the middle. And this is kind of a hybrid of the Kin 1 pattern that we covered a couple weeks ago. And basically it's starting off like this. It's just going to go, it's going to be 2 clicks on the way forward, so, and then a reverse baby, just on the snare, and then 2 clicks on the way back, like that. All right, so it's going 2 clicks, reverse baby, and then like that. All right, very simple. So anybody that already knows the 2-click orbit, and anybody that already knows the reverse baby, just merge them together, start off slow, and you can do it. All right, so this is gonna go like that. All right, so we got that 2-click, and then the flare scratch. You know, this is a very famous scratch that everybody does. You know, because you can go super fast with it. All right, I forgot to add the dot right there, right? For the change of direction, there's supposed to be a little dot right there. But you know, so there's little errors in the matrix that, you know, like stuff like that, you know, will get fixed in the update of the matrix. All right, let's see. So there's a regular flare, then a reverse flare. So that's 1 click on the way forward, and then 1 click on the way back. So I'm gonna go from here to here, from here to here. I'm gonna do a click in the middle, and then I'm gonna go from here to here and do another click in the middle. All right. So. So there's a click at the 50% point of here, and there's a click at the 50% point on the way back. All right. I'm gonna go a little bit faster. I'm gonna go a shorter distance. I'm gonna go. Alright, so those are... Oh, I think I started doing some different time signatures in this one. And we go faster, sounds like this. Alright, so there's, you saw that there was, you know, so instead of just going woko 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 woko, you can go woko 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 woko, you know, like in threes, or you could do it in sixes, be like woko 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 woko. You know, there's all different types of ways you can do it. Alright, so flare scratch, we're done with that. The chirp. So I'll start on a lot of basic stuff, but you notice how everything is open fader. Everything is starting off with this little white dot. So yeah, we just did the flare. Now let's go into chirps. Invented by Jazzy Jeff. All right, let's click on that. I'm gonna show you the AI function on here. Oh, I think I do it with the ah sound. So this has ah and fresh. So this is a scratch sampler instrument. You can play it out, you can click on it, but you can, you know, use your keyboard too. You can also hook this up to MIDI with the keystroke to MIDI converter. All right, and you get to see the AI now. So now this is the AI part of it, the AI scratch device. So just added a bunch of different chirps. So you see that? So yeah. All right, so let's go to the next one. you can go really fast and go. All right, that's the chirp.
Hey, Jazz, hold on. Wait a minute.
I don't know if I can play too much of this because it might try to do some type of copyright type of thing on it. So I'm just gonna let y'all can go to this, go to the Instagram on this. So I'm gonna maybe a little bit.
See that Jazzy?
But you know, in this set, this Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince set, you know, he does the chirp scratch. All right, that's cool. I just looped that one part of it, right? All right, so let's move on. Okay. Now, let's go to the next one, baby scratch, right? The very first scratch, aka the rub. I mean, people call it baby scratch now, but that's not what Grand Wizard Theodore was calling it. You know, originally it was had a bunch of different names, but you know, eventually became the rub. Eventually became people started calling it baby scratches. Right, I think I used the AI thing on this. Oh, I used the let's see. The notator. So you can write your own scratch compositions with this, with the PMOS 100, and then it has the AI sequencer too. You can input different things, and it's gonna flip it on some AI stuff. And watch what happens. It's gonna make some patterns. All right, let's go. The baby scratch, which is right here, like I was saying before, baby scratch is gonna follow a bell curve of some sort, and it's gonna sound like this. You go faster. Even faster. All right, the baby scratch, which is right here.
This one particular day when I came home from school, I usually go home and practice, and I was playing music a little.
So this is, you know, a clip from Scratch the movie. You can, if you go to the DVD, I actually did, you know, I transcribed that Rob Swift scratching "What Is It" routine that was in there, and you know, but what's interesting is the animation that was in there of my routine that I transcribed. John actually did that. John Carlucci did the animation, and it was real kind of shoddy animation. But you know, I've done all the animations after that were things that I did. But yeah, that was we collabed on that. But yeah, and you know, I never got, you know, paid any money for any of that. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff from Scratch Magazine, I never got paid any money.
A bit too loud, and my mom's came and banged on the door. Boom, 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 boom.
And that's why I stopped working with John, because he was just trying to like cherry pick and claim all my work, you know. But he's just a publisher and a writer, you know. He can't read music, he can't scratch, he can't read music, you know. So, and he's trying to like lecture and stuff like he, you know, invented all this stuff. But if you actually look at the math, he had a system, you know, and he didn't even have any book or anything like that. He was working on something, and he was saying forward motion was backward, was a downward slope was forward, you know. So I rejected what he was working on, you know. I was like, you know, we're going to use my system for this book. So TTM 1.0 is all my system, you know. I have the proof of me rejecting him and Ethan's way of using, for the crossfader, they were using a wave too, just like envelopes on Final Cut and stuff like that. And he was trying to do it backwards, you know, because even with Final Cut or even with any audio engineering program with envelopes, you know, upward slope is turning the knob to the right, you know, which is the same as like pushing the record forward. You know what I'm saying? But he was doing the opposite. He was saying the record forward was going down, and I was always like, nope, it's intuitive to make the record moving forward having upward slope.
If you don't cut that music down, you're gonna have to cut it off. So while she was in the doorway, you know, screaming at me, I was still holding the record and rubbing the record back and forth.
Right. So this is the original story of how the how he invented scratching. So shout out to Grand Wizard Theodore for inventing scratching.
She left. I was like,
And then so the sound that he was using was this sound.
in the room. Yeah, I just froze. And she was like, what are you doing?
So this is him explaining to a class. This is Rob Swift's class at I believe he's not teaching anymore. This particular class at the New School in New York.
And I'm like, so she said, turn the music down or turn the music off. So basically what I did.
So he's talking about how he invented scratching.
I was just, and then she left the room.
And that's it.
Right.
And that's history. That's how he invented scratching.
And then I just kept going.
All right.
A lot of times you'll see a baby scratch as like a triangular wave, like a.
See, I wanted to explain the difference between why that when you represent scratching as a triangular wave, it's not really what's happening. Just like I was saying with suicide drills, if you're running back and forth, or if let's say a car is going 80 miles an hour and then it has to stop and back up and reverse, there's no way it can just change direction without having to slow down and eventually stop and change direction. So if there's no slowing down, then it's not more of a natural movement.
Triangle.
But when you're doing like a chirp or something, you can cut off the slowing down, so you're only hearing a constant pitch.
But in fact, as far as physics is concerned, the laws of physics,
or really more dicing. If you're dicing or something, you can just hear the pitch.
There's no way that one can change directions instantaneously. That's impossible to change it. And the only way to do that is to use this switch, which is a reverse toggle switch.
So y'all see why that doesn't sound like scratching. If you're just going forward, back, a digital device can do that, but a real vinyl can't do that, because even if you're hitting the reverse button over and over again, it's still going to slow down and stop and come back like a baby scratch. So that's why baby scratches can't be represented by triangles for the TTM composers out there, because TTM is a representation of laws of physics.
So see, it doesn't sound like a baby scratch. So that's what a perfect triangular sound would sound like. That's a perfect triangle. So what I was doing was this right here. I was doing digital reverse switch toggles. I was just going forward, backwards. And as opposed to a baby scratch, which is right here. A lot of times you.
All right. So we went on that concept. Now the crescent flare, Q-Bert's crescent flare. And the cool thing about the crescent flare is that if you're used to doing 3 clicks, like I already showed you the 3-click orbit, you can still do it. You just use the same clicking pattern, but you just make your scratch hand move twice as fast, and then you get a crescent flare. So let's do that. See? So 1.4, the PMOS 100 1.4 has this new loop function on here. But you can loop with these other functions and stuff too when you're just, looping it like an arpeggiator. So it sounds like transforming. All right, let's keep it moving. Oh, the chirp flare. This is really, really popular. Everybody does a chirp flare. So it's a chirp and then it's a flare, but it's done so fast that it's basically it's a combo. But you can look at it as one scratch. I'm gonna be focusing on just individual scratches and short combos, but we might get into some longer combos later if I get to like 280, day 280 or something. I might start doing longer stuff. But I'm gonna try to keep it as much as unique scratches and combos, and then eventually I'm gonna start adding scratches that have never been recorded, because most of the scratches on the Fatalist Matrix have never been recorded. Even most of the scratches on the Periodic Matrix of scratches have never been recorded. Oh wait, I was gonna play more of this. Wait, the sequencer, the AI sequencer for those that want to see version 1.4, the AI version. So I put a chirp flare and a chirp and a flare. So that's the AI function. This kick and snare here is probably one of my favorite, top 5, maybe top 3, kicks and snares to cut with of all time. I just love this sound. So for all the Kickstarter supporters, that sound's gonna be on there definitely. We're still about to drop that. So Skater Girl is already on. It's on Amazon Prime. It's on Tubi. It's on it's on mad different channels right now. Roku, all types of stuff. It just got picked up by some libraries. But yeah, we'll talk about that stuff later. Yeah, shout out to all the Kickstarter supporters. So let's move on. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, we've got a chirp flare in there. Let's do the Kermit. All right, so let's see the Kermit scratch. Now this was invented by Mike Hectic. So it's basically 2 chirps and then a flare. So it's important to note that when I made the PMOS 100, it's a modular thing. So every scratch in the matrix isn't in there, because really there's infinite scratches out there. But with this, you can make millions of different patterns, and so the Kermit scratch is basically a chirp, chirp, and a flare. Oh, cool! I'm gonna do the AI version of it. Let's see, the chirp and then the flare. Yeah, so it should be doing Kermit scratch. Let's see what happens.
So the underlying scratches, this is just going. So that's the underlying baby scratch. So, all right. So you see that? I'm gonna start off slow and go fast. You see that? That's just gonna go.
All right, so let's go to the next one. We did Kermit. We're almost done. Just got a couple more left. So 3 triplet click orbit. So this is a different one. The other one that most people do just a what's a. This one is a very complex one that usually nobody does. This one, and it sounds like waku 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 waku. It sounds like a wah scratch. It goes waku 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 waku, and it sounds like a lot of Ethiopian music.
So the clicking is going to be evenly spaced.
And yeah, so this is a continuous clicking cut where the clicks are perfectly evenly spaced. So you can go pretty fast with it. Anytime you're doing continuous clicking, like a flare or a wah scratch or one of these, it can go really fast.
All right. And it sounds like a lot like a wah scratch. The wah scratch has the same click pattern. Wah scratch sounds like this. And that first, the 3 click triplet one sounds a lot like it. Like.
So you'll see me in a lot of performances where I'll start off with one of the wah scratch, and then I'll go into a 3 triplet click orbit, right? Not to be confused with the 3 click orbit. All right, that I showed y'all before. All right, so we're almost ending up for the first 22 days that I've been in the battle against Qbert. Let's see. This one didn't get as many likes. Oh, no. This one got a bunch of likes, but I think the other hybrid. So this is a 2-click hybrid. Got like 91 likes. Let's see. It's interesting to see what people like, the most. A lot of times visually, the ones that look visually more like letters and like the M ones, people like those more. But yeah, so. All right.
Too high to too low click. So that's too high. That's 1, 2. Click at the 50%, 75%. That's wada. Or wah. If it's an ah sound, it's going to sound like wada. And then on the way back, you're always going to have that wuh sound. The change of direction makes a wuh. So it's like.
Alright, so let's go that one. Alright, now the 2-click tangent. Now these are some of my favorites. I do these all the time. You're going to see me doing these all the time. I'm always doing these things. So it's basically like a even 2-click flare with continuous clicking, but there's a pause in the middle, so so these are tangents. And they sound like flares, but it's not a flare.
So that's a tangent right there. I started off, just doing a regular 2-click, but I started adding tears in the middle. So here we go. Regular. So that's same thing, but it's got a tear inside, so it would actually look different.
All right, so we're almost there. All right, so the 2 low to 2 click. So these are 2 evenly spaced clicks, but these ones are more lopsided. And there's only 68 people like this one. It's not as popular. All right, let's see what it sounds like. I really like this one. There's a cut class came through my studio, and I was doing this years and years ago. And this was when I was kind of just really getting back in scratching, and because now I'm at my highest skill level that I've ever been. I just keep getting more skilled and skilled, probably since 2017. But let me play it. All right. And this one's really tricky. It's very tricky to do lopsided ones like this, things that aren't symmetrical or repeating the same pattern. It's very tricky to do this one. It's very tricky. All right. So this is a 3-click going wa ta ta ta, and then 3 tears going wah 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 wah. So it pauses 3 times here, so it makes 4 sounds. So in total, this is 8 sounds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 sounds in this, and you can see that here. There's 7 bisections of it. So if you take a pie and you make 7 slices on it, you're gonna have 8 pieces. All right. Well, it's better not to think of a pie. Maybe if you think of a loaf of bread. If you take a loaf of bread and you slice it 7 times, you're gonna have 8 pieces.
Click to 3 tear flare, and this is a hybrid, and it's going to go 3 clicks on the way forward and 3 tears on the way back. So it's going.
Shout out to the Next Level program again, because I recorded this in like 2016, I think, when I was in Cartagena. Yeah, so this was at the hotel in Cartagena.
Right, that makes 4 sounds, and on the way back, it's going. All right, that's 3 tears, makes 4 sounds. So it goes.
All right, so that was a slow version of it. All right, so only 2 more left. Hopefully we don't run out of time. I think we're almost there. All right, so this is the Beetle Scratch. I actually invented this one. I showed this to Qbert. He was performing at this Os Gemios, one of my favorite visual graffiti artists, at this show with them. And after the show, I showed it to him. All right. This is a slowed down version of it that's like broken apart in pieces, kind of like chemistry. Here it comes.
And the Beetle Scratch is just 6 sounds in total. It's 3 babies.
Well, it's really 8 sounds in total, but the baby scratch underneath it is 6 sounds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But the Beetle Scratch actually makes 8 sounds.
Scratches all together. So baby, 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 or you can call it rub, rub, rub. So 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
But yeah, I love the scratch because it can go really fast. I haven't been doing this for years, so I gotta start doing this one again. But all these other ones I showed you, I've been doing those all the time in every type of freestyle thing you see me scratching in. And this one I just dropped today. like an hour ago or something, 2 hours ago. This is a 4 triplet click orbit, so it's basically like a 2 triplet click orbit, but you're just making your hand cycle go twice as slow. So there's a lot of 4 click variations, and I just did there's like this tutorial had like 5 of them, but this is variation number 1, the easiest one to do. And I've seen Richie Roughtone do this one a bunch. So it's basically just like doing a 2 click orbit and then doing another 2 click orbit. You see my hands just moving twice as slow, because normally my hand would be going back and forth every time, like what are the. So this first one is basically like doing a 2 click orbit like this. Alright, it's regular 2 click orbit. Alright, so I'm doing 2 clicks on the way forward, 2 clicks on the way back. It cuts it into 3 sounds. Now, if we extend the movement out, so instead of me bringing it back, I keep going forward like this. It makes 2 clicks and then another 2 clicks. So that's 4 clicks altogether. It makes 5 sounds. But it sounds like it's 6 sounds, even though it's not, because there's kind of a slur on it. Alright, so let's go. Alright, so that's it. So that's the first 3 weeks of my duel with Qbert, and I'll update you on the next 3 weeks, or maybe I'll do a month next time. Maybe every time I'll just do a month or something and do 12 months. But this first one is a 3-week one, because he had a whole kind of like a week ahead of me. He had started, and then I started late when I found out about it. But yeah, so shout out to DJ Qbert, shout out to DJ D Styles and the whole Pickles camp. And yeah, so I'm gonna be dueling with Qbert this whole year, 365 days. I'm gonna be dropping. These are all from pre-recorded tutorials, but I'll probably end up recording new stuff eventually, and also posting stuff that's never been recorded. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you can record it yourself. But yeah, so all right, peace. Catch y'all later. All right.